believe there's a lot of people who were not registered that did vote. But I think after all,
do you have any evidence of those things?
I don't have anything. I mean, I have as much evidence as all the other people here.
Which is none?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Finding a Trump supporter honest enough to admit they have no real evidence to back up his lies about the 2020 election is an extremely rare sight, especially given what we're used to hearing from these clowns.
I still say he won the last time. He got more votes than he did before. And according to what I hear, obviously I don't know all this, he had enough votes to win. I mean, in the middle of the night, Biden picks up a lot of votes. Does that make sense? Well, how about the Trump tickets that they found in the ditch? I mean, there was a lot of stuff here and there. I'm sure, I don't know how big it was, but it was there.
60 courts said, or 59 courts said, we looked into this, or we're not even going to look into it because there's not enough evidence. But if it happens this time, you'll...
It is what it is, brother. It is what it is. We'll take it as it comes.
Translation, yeah, I don't believe anything you, the court system, and mountains of evidence are saying. But let's just agree to disagree and move on. The efficacy and the facts of a free and fair election are not something to just agree to disagree about, because it feeds into the inflammatory and charged rhetoric Trump and his base are accustomed to using.
Tone down the rhetoric.
See, that's the one, that's a hard sell.
That's a hard sell?
Yeah.
Why is it hard?
Turn up the rhetoric.
Would you rather just tone down the rhetoric? You don't want to tone down the rhetoric? Oh, okay.
I want to lock up Kamala and a tone down the rhetoric.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to lock up Kamala and tone down the rhetoric sign?
Yes.
Okay, so tone down the rhetoric. Okay. But then what were you saying about Kamala?
She's committed treason against our country.
Okay, there you have it.
Case in point, if this skit from The Good Liar shows anything about the MAGA movement, is that they don't view their own rhetoric, beliefs, and policy positions as violent, hurtful, and damaging to anyone outside of the MAGA cult. It starts with their leader and trickles down from there, becoming normalized and encouraged in the process.
They're terrorists. They're terrorists. They're terrorists at the highest level. We have some of the greatest terrorists in the world in our country right now. We have no idea where they are. They make our criminals look like babies. These are stone-cold killers. They'll walk into your kitchen, they'll cut your throat. Oh, there's a fly. Oh, I wonder where the fly came from. See, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had a fly up here. You're changing rapidly, but we can't take it any longer. We can't take it any longer. For 4 straight years, she's imported an army of illegal alien gang members and migrant criminals from the dungeons all over the world. So I will rescue Arizona and every town across America that has been invaded and conquered. They've been conquered. They're conquering the towns. You have no choice. You're going to lose your culture. You're going to lose your country.
Let's be clear. Trump and the Republican Party's wholesale dehumanization of immigrants is a deliberate, calculated decision intended to convince the base to perceive anyone suspected of being an immigrant or migrant as a second-class citizen who is part of a hostile, organized effort to destroy white, Christian, American culture, and therefore doesn't deserve basic human rights and dignity. Using this type of rhetoric, people, establishes immigrants, and by extension anyone who views them as human beings, as scapegoats for all of the country's problems, and in turn justifies and legitimizes their demonization in the eyes of anyone who believes these violent lies.
When everybody says Trump lies, they never give an example of a lie. Does he exaggerate sometimes? Absolutely. That's what he does. He speaks in superlatives.
Well, let's talk about
there's a difference between lies and superlatives.
Let's talk about then, one of the recent chats about cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio, right? Yeah. What do you love about it?
The memes and the songs that came out of it are hilarious. I haven't belly laughed that hard, tears streaming down my face until I heard some of these songs.
But again, it's not true, according to the people in Springfield.
What? It doesn't matter whether it's true. It is just how the American people can take what somebody's trying to do to manipulate their emotions and turn it into something funny. Nobody really cares whether they're eating the dogs and the cats except the owners of the dogs and the cats in the area. What we do care about is unfettered illegal immigration coming across our border with people who can't speak our language, do not know our laws, do not care to assimilate. That's what we care about. So do we make jokes out of it? Yes. But it's about the illegals.
But you went from saying Trump doesn't lie to when he brought up at a presidential debate, which is when a lot of people are making their decisions about who to vote for, people who are not already committed. He made up a story and he said, well, you don't care if that's true or not.
You don't know that he made that up.
Well, the people
there are people who have said they have seen it. And we do know, even in Venezuela, when they went full socialism, people were having to eat their pets.
Well, right. They went. I don't think we're on the brink of Venezuela here. But
well, I think we might be headed that way if people aren't careful. When you look to the government to be the solution to your problems, you are on that slippery slope.
The former president has said, and said it at the debate, that in Springfield, Ohio, immigrants are eating cats and dogs. That's been disproven and debunked. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I don't like it. That's not what us Americans do. That's not how we live. We fish and stuff like that. We hunt for our food. As American, that's what we used to do. If you really need to eat food, there's homeless shelters if you want better food, like PB&Js, applesauce, stuff like that. But don't be eating our pets. I have a dog myself. I could never see someone eating him just because I care for him. He's like my brother, so.
Yeah, I understand. I'm a dog owner, but it's not happening. So are you ready to just say, let's not talk about that anymore?
Honestly, I mean, I would rather Trump talk about it because it is something we need to like stand for and say, hey, we need to address this.
Even if it's not happening?
Yeah, honestly.
So in the Haitian culture, they do actually sacrifice the cats and dogs as animals. They'll grind their bones up and then they'll eat them. So.
But that's not happening in Springfield, right?
I mean, you never know. You never know.
Well, I mean, the chief of police there, and we respect our law enforcement, the city manager, and the people have now marched saying this isn't happening here. And they're so at this point, should we stop talking about it? I mean, I'm asking you, or should we stop talking about something that's been proven to not be?
It's 100% proven. I'm not from there, so I can't speak on their behalf.
It's very evident to me, listening to these Trump supporters, the moment you see the brain cells evaporating from their system. Because first the lady says, well, they're not lies that Trump makes up, that he puts out there. He just exaggerates the truth. Then she's confronted with the fact that actually, no, he did lie about these Haitians in Springfield eating pets or cats and dogs. He's like, well, I don't care if it's true or not. That doesn't matter to me. Then you got the other guy speaking as if it's a crisis. Yeah, we should be hunting for our fish, yada, yada, but we should not be eating pets. I have a dog. It's like a brother to me. Again, he's confronted with, or faced with the fact that actually that's not true. So we shouldn't be talking about it. He's like, no, we should still be talking about it. It's important. It's so crazy to me that you can be this swept up by right-wing politics and rhetoric. You don't have any agency. You don't have any self-awareness. And for me, I think conservative voters are always looking for somebody or something to blame for their misery instead of the root cause of capitalism. And again, it's much easier to point the finger at a group or ideology as opposed to doing some self-reflection and challenging the entire system that we live in with American capitalism. Okay? And we know who was the original capital in American capitalism. Black people, okay? And slave Africans. My ancestors. And so it's much harder, and you actually grow more when you look at why you're in the state that you're in, as opposed to just lazily putting blame on a group of people who do not subscribe to your beliefs. And they don't really have any type of impact on your life being positive or negative, or in this case, being negative. These are irrational people who do not have any type of self-reflection or desire to be highly intelligent. No, we're just going, whatever Trump says, that's it. No questions asked. For Rebel HQ, I'm Chris Williams, and we'll see you next time.